Hello, welcome back to Numerology for everyone. This is lesson 8, and we're going to talk about the lovely personal year 7. In the last lesson, we talked about the number 6 and its relationship to family and money. So, in the personal year 6, that is something you want to be focusing on. We also tried something new, which is reading the yearly chart from the previous year for context. It is important that you realize that events between years are connected, and what happens in the previous year will affect the next. In this lesson, we are on to the number 7. It is a young water element, so think of it as big oceans or huge rivers. The water is always flowing, washing you along with it. So like the yin water too, it communicates very well, but it is good with convincing, arguing, debating, and getting you to agree or follow him a little more outwardly and forcefully. These are the people who you want at a party because they create the flow that people will follow. So 7 can also be seen as a people number. So let's look at the chart from Janus Land 9370 to see how yearly 7 turns out. Firstly, this person is life path 9, strength and weakness 9, so what I would call a 999 chart. I've received a lot of messages on how to read life path 9. There have been lots of misconception about them being old souls, them having hard lives, or just them being secretive because there isn't much information about them. We've talked about 9 being a young wood element, so picture a big tree, reliable and steady. 9 is also a visual element, and because of the young nature, you would think that they are very forward and upward looking. So life path 9s have actually good foresight and optimism. But what happens when your character, strength, and weaknesses are all 9? You'll be so focused on the future, you see what's coming, and then you miss out on the present, the now. So you look at the big picture but miss out the details. And if you're always looking upwards and not at the path you're taking, how do you intend to go where you want to go? With an idea of the personality in mind, let's look at the yearly chart. We see almost the same chart for both derived charts, giving us a personal year 7 for both. We looked at one of these kind of charts earlier on, and we discussed on how it means that the impact of the numbers will be doubled. So for example, the presence of multiple 2 and 7s next to each other in the charts suggests that this will be a year where you will meet a potential partner. Because the numbers in the original chart show that this person is actually pretty good looking to begin with. If this year he isn't single, this is a very likely year for him to be able to find a potential partner. Following up on last lesson, which we talked about looking at a year before to get a better idea of what's happening this year, we can actually do the same by looking at the charts for the next year. So if we look at year ahead, we can see that the yearly 7s have progressed into yearly 8s. This means that the next year is going to be stressful, with again, a lot of it being from people who you work with coming at the end of the year. With that in mind, we can relook at the charts for this year. We know that people are going to bring you collaboration projects at the start of 2023, and you will be stressed in 2024. Then you need to decide which of these projects are going to be helpful and which of these are coming from people who are going to cause you more problems than benefit. The impact from these people and the projects they bring along will be strongly felt in the second half of the year. If you're unsure if the project is good or not, it's best to seek the advice of someone you can trust. This will go a long way to reduce the problems and alleviate the stress that will be coming in the next year. So here comes the million-dollar question. How do we do so? How do we know which project to choose and who to trust? This goes back to the main chart or what the person is lacking. We talked about how the person has very good foresight, but is lacking in its ability to navigate the nitty-gritty details. This will be key in this year in choosing the people to trust and the projects to work on. The devil is in the details, and your ability to focus on them will determine how things are likely to turn out for this year and next year. So to recap, in this lesson, we talked about how the number 7 relates very closely to people. Bring that interpretation to the yearly charts, and you will get a year that is very people-focused. Usually, yearly 7s have lots of people gathering on you. They can come to you for advice, for job collaboration projects, to offer assistance, or as potential partners. How you navigate the year will strongly depend on the context. In this lesson, we looked at the personal numerological chart as well as the yearly charts for the next year to see what might be the most important thing that needs to be done this year. If you have a person in yearly 7 this year, you could do the same by looking at the year before and after to see what needs to be done. So that's it for this lesson. We are coming to the end of the series on yearly numerology, so if you haven't gotten your free numerological reading, do hurry up. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See ya!